Greetings and salutations, my lovelies. Bardic Kitty here, bringing you another art video. As you can see from the fact that I already have a completed piece on the screen, we're doing something a little different today. But you've also seen the title of the video, so you know I will be drawing this character in another artist's style. The artist I chose today was Pearberrie. I love her work. She has a YouTube channel here on YouTube. Obviously, she has an art channel here on YouTube. Lots of beautiful videos where she does all kinds of amazing artwork. She does a lot of reviews for different types of markers. She's also done some live streams, and I've absolutely loved sitting in on those. And of course, you can find her on Instagram, where you can kind of keep track of just some of her art. And so what I've done is I've redrawn the character already, and I am going to just take the line work I already have done, and I am going to color her for you today. And while I do that, I'm going to just talk a little bit about some of the things that I found difficult or easier about this challenge, because there were some parts that I didn't find too difficult, but other things, oh boy, I just could not, oof. So admittedly, one of the main things is that I did find the sketching initial drawing part of it a lot easier than the color. And that might seem kind of strange, but here's why. I am trying to emulate the style of somebody else. With the sketch, I'm using the pencil. I can erase if I've oh wait, she doesn't draw those things like that. You know, I looked at a lot of how she draws her hands. One of the main things I wanted to get was the big expressive eyes, and just the cute little button nose, and just I wanted it to really feel like it could be one of her characters. And so that part, you know, I was able to look at the examples and kind of erase and tweak things as I needed to. I did use a bit of a pose reference, bit of a pose reference for the character and how she's holding the teddy bear. And it's, I don't know, I'm still not entirely sure about that other hand, how it's supporting underneath the bear, but it's still, I think it still turned out pretty well. But then once I got into these colors, I have a very specific way that I use my Copic markers, and it was very difficult to turn that off because I just kept wanting to do the shading and everything the way I would normally do it. And I think, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure there is a point where I've just given up. You know, I'm still kind of looking at her examples of her work as a reference, and I'm trying to keep things kind of towards that, but I'm just this isn't happening. I've already started doing my own thing so many times, and I just kind of finished the piece out as I would normally do it. And so yeah, I think doing a little more study of how another artist does their coloring versus just trying to get the drawing right is going to be something that I'll have to focus on more if I was to do this challenge again. There's also a couple of points where I start having issues with my markers, and it's actually kind of, I don't know, it's actually kind of fitting, because there's been at least a few of her videos where she's just my Copic markers are not getting along with me. They just aren't doing what they need to do. And in particular, I did have one of the blues that I use kind of gunk up, and it had that kind of shiny, crystal-y stuff. And I know she's made a video actually about how to fix that, so I need to go back and re-watch it, because there's a couple of my markers that are starting to get to where I need to do something about them. So yeah, that's going to be the main thing. Oh, just a little note about video quality. I know right now it looks almost kind of overexposed and washed out, and it's super light. Well, here in a bit, it's going to switch to being, a bit darker. And then also some of just the way that the colors look is going to be a little weird. And that's just, I'm still working on learning the program that I'm using to do my recording, and I think I messed with some settings that I shouldn't have. Plus, my husband was actually using the computer, so I actually couldn't look at what it was doing and kind of tweak it a little bit here and there and try to figure it out, because he was in the middle of games. So and that's fine. Like, seriously, like, he's awesome. He takes good care of me. I'm not going to begrudge him playing some video games. Alright, and so yeah, I think that's most of what I wanted to say. I'll probably say one or two more things towards the end of the video, but in the meantime, just relax, watch the work happen, and enjoy some music. I just want to say a little bit about this background here. I had some trouble deciding what I was going to do for any kind of background, if I was going to do one at all, but I did notice that there were a couple of things that Pearberrie did in a lot of her art pieces, either putting down a really like beautiful single kind of wash, wrong terminology because that's painting, but just putting down one color kind of around the entire character, leaving a bit of a white space between the character and the color, and doing kind of like making the color a little uneven to give it more depth and like interest, kind of like how I did when I filled the circle here. But that is another thing that I have seen her do, where she'll put these circles behind her characters, and I just really liked that, and I figured, well, I'll put my little template over top of the character and see how that looks, and I ended up deciding I really liked the way it framed her. And as for the colors, she's kind of based off of like kind of a peacock color scheme, so I wanted a little bit of just a hint of green, but I didn't want to take it too far, so I actually went in with like a bluish green, and I didn't realize that it actually kind of ties it back to this original piece even more. And here I'm just pointing out that she's supposed to have all this lace around her outfit, and I couldn't really find any examples where Pearberrie had done a lot of lace work on a character, and so I had actually like left it off initially when I was doing the sketch and then completely forgot about it during the ink and coloring process. But I really like how it is just as it is, so I've decided that it's just going to stay just like this. And I hope you love the video. Please do go and check out Pearberrie's channel and Instagram. She's amazing. I love her work, and I love all of you, and I'll see you again next week.